It's time for Ascension River District Hospital's coverage of East China High School sports. CTV and Ascension River District Hospital bring you today's game along with support from North Star Bank, Ace Hardware, and La Mache, the Murphy Inn.
Good evening, high school football fans, and welcome to CTV, Cable Channel 6. Alongside Denny White, I am Brad Robbins. We are excited this evening to be bringing you MHSAA Division IV District Football action as the Saints play host to the Broncos from North Branch High School. Coach, both teams coming in this evening at 7-2. North Branch, a team coming off 6 straight victories after falling 1-2 early. The Saints taking a roundabout way to a MAC Gold title, but coming off of a big victory, a shutout of the Vikings of Marysville. So both teams with some momentum. But the weather, not cooperating necessarily for a clean and up and down game, and that may play a part in tonight's contest. I believe as we started action here this evening, the coin toss, to update those of you at home, the Saints won the toss and deferred. The Broncos then wisely decided to receive the football. Coach, scouting report-wise on the Broncos, what do you have for us? What have you heard?
We've got a very large line and a major philosophy to run the ball. Run it right down your throat. They had a very talented quarterback in Will Damaska. They're just a tough, powerful football team. The weather should not bother them.
No, I think the weather right now plays into the hands a little bit of the Broncos. I think that could be a great equalizer running for local football flavor. You'll see a lot of wing tee around here. I think you'll see a lot of double tight wing tee. They're going to try to use Damaska. He's a quarterback. He doesn't really necessarily love to throw the football, and in this weather, that's fine. He's kind of a running back who turns around and makes it happen, a 3-year starter at the quarterback position. And the Saints are getting lined up to kick toward the, I suppose it'd be the north end zone here as you watch on your screen. Underway in MHSAA district action is a wobbler going toward the boundary line, and it will sneak out at the 25, and the flag flies. And we've seen that a lot from the Saints special teams unit.
This is the flag year.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's something that's just never worked itself out. The Saints, with all their success this season, have just not found the ability to clean up the kickoff game, and it's really put their defense, for being 7-2, and their defense deserves a lot of credit.
Ball's kicked out of bounds. Will be placed at the 35-yard line. First down, North Branch.
Puts them behind the 8 ball a little bit in terms of just general field position. But the Broncos will start it off behind Will Damaska in that front line here tonight. Joined in the backfield by number 29, Ryan Henney, Antonio Soto, and I believe that's Griffin Mabry. This one's going to be Henney right away. He's off left tackle and gets a good gain. He's across the 40. Ball's going to be spotted at the 42-yard line. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 4 for the Broncos.
There's some big, powerful linemen on that Bronco team.
Yeah, and that was something that, in talking to the coaches, they said they're big, they get off the ball. They're going to remind you a little bit of the front that Lakeview had that the Saints frankly had some trouble with in similar conditions. So see what type of development can be made over a couple of weeks here. A little counter play, reverse handoff up the middle to number 3. That's Lucas Chapman. That's going to be enough for a first down. Coach, the weather, early on we kind of remarked at how the stands were empty, and they have filled up a little bit, so people might have waited in their cars. No band tonight, so we're bringing you all the atmosphere we can. But this weather's keeping people away, and rightfully so. It's been a wet October here in southeastern Michigan. That said, Coach, they must have practiced in it probably daily now, so the conditions can't be a surprise.
Yeah. And from North Branch's standpoint, I don't know what their field conditions are, but this has got to be nice.
This will be far better. The footing here will be just fine. Damaska again. He's going to keep this one. Roll around left side. Fooled the Saints. He's up the sideline. Saints giving chase. He's across the 20 to the 15. 10-5. High steps his way in, and that's 6 for the Broncos really quickly.
And that's the talent we had heard about.
Here you see the Saints committed completely to the first back, and then Damaska and his athleticism, he's a bigger guy, but he's able to outrun the entire secondary for the Saints.
Well, the discussions with the coaches was he's actually a running back playing quarterback, and that's a prime demonstration of that ability.
No doubt about it. He displays it immediately, and what the Saints did not want to do is get down to a team who likes to grind it out and run the football, and here we are. And the kick is up and good. So early on, 10:37 left in the first quarter, and the Broncos, after I believe just 3 plays, take it across for pay dirt, and the Saints are going to have an answer.
Well, that's a quick slap to the helmet. Now let's see if we can respond.
Yeah, if you weren't ready before that, now you are. I mean, this is playoff football. You can't really create higher stakes. If you're done or if you lose, the season is over, and the Saints have an opportunity here. You're the #1 seed in your district, and you're hosting, and if you win the football game, you're going to host the winner of the Pontiac Notre Dame Prep or Croslex game. Broncos now. We'll see what the Broncos bring to the table in terms of kickoff formation. Warm-ups look like a pretty solid kicking game. Saints feature 3 deep men. This kick is up and classic good here. It's fielded at the 1-yard line. I believe that is Logan Ellis. He kind of shifts out right side. He's across the 20. 25, shifts another man. Moves the pile a little bit to the 28-yard line, where the Saints will start their drive.
That was an excellent high school kick, high enough to allow the team defense to get down there, all the way down to the 1. You don't see that very often.
Yeah, not bad at all, and especially it gives, it's almost better at that point. You give your coverage team the opportunity to go hit somebody early because it didn't go all the way to the end zone and make it easy on the returner. Luke Ellis under center for the Saints. You can see the driving rain. It's going to be play action. They're going to the air in spite of it. Ball's up in the air. He's got a man. Caught early, and they send a message. Goodness gracious, in the rain, Brendan Cole right over the top of Landon Swash. No fear. Luke Ellis flips the hips over the top. Beautiful basket catch. Great concentration in a driving rain, and the Saints make a little noise on their first play here from scrimmage.
What rain?
Well, I know that's got to be part of their game plan, so if they feel like they have to win that way, it might just be in spite of the conditions. And a nice start. The Broncos may have to respect the pass anyhow. Ellis off right side. Lots of room here. Great job blocking. The cutback solid across, and the Saints are making a little noise here. 2 plays into their drive. They are in the red zone. Really nice job out front by 88. That was Kai Pennywell, kind of the lead blocker, turned his man, and Luke Ellis, a good read off of his hip, scooted across for another solid gain. And the ball is on the 19-yard line. Ellis and White in the backfield. Late comer to the formation is Cole. You might see a lot of extended handoff, smoke type action here from the Saints. They're going to try the other side this time. Good cutback block there by White. Ellis, tough run, gets a couple. See a good job here. There you see Ethan White kind of just claw it back so he's not caught from behind. Ellis, just a good shuffle and gets a good little chunk there, about 3 or 4. It's going to bring up 2nd and 7.
This is a great tone to set by the Saints. They can both run and pass, so the defense can't lean on one of the areas.
You do not want to give the Broncos the opportunity to load the box up. On the flip side of that, they're going to have to find a way to to stop the Broncos by loading the box up. A broken tackle here off the other side is Ethan White, and a really tough run. He's going to make it inside the 10 for a Saints first and goal. What I've liked so far early on, I mean, obviously here you're going to see Ethan White, who's been a little banged up, Coach, still able to do enough and give you, as you said, give you all he's got, and he's able to break tackles. And a little banged up, but it's just stuff that needs ice and time. And in the playoffs, you kind of just play through it and limp around on Saturday.
Absolutely, and he just broke 2 tackles on that run.
Coach is showing a lot of confidence in him. Saints making a little noise here on their first drive, trying to match the Broncos. Another handoff to White. Another tough run. He may be in. Did he spin it in? He's going to be marked just short. But nonetheless, the Saints offensive line putting in work of their own, moving the Broncos backwards, and the Saints are in business here about 1 foot away from 6.
It looked like nearly the same play, except instead of going outside the end, he went inside.
You cut it back.
Yep.
So right now you've seen the pass, and then a right side effort from Ellis, a left side effort from Ellis, and then now the White show. Saints offense on full display here. Ellis going to be under center this time. White's the deep back. Ellis turns the give us to White. He's met there, still up, and he's going to reach in. Second effort's going to get it. The Saints are on the board. So, Coach, right away, their backs to the wall, kind of just the only thing you couldn't have happen, and the Saints come out right away and answer, show some character here on the first drive.
That's a good deal. They respond to the slap in the helmet and say, there, we can do this.
I think that'll be big just in terms of confidence for the offense moving forward. I think what you're just looking at that right away. On both sides of the coin here, the Broncos are going to have to make some adjustments because the Saints cut that up, and the Saints hopefully can make some adjustments themselves and ensure that they're going to be having to have an answer for Damaska and the Broncos. That kick, as we've seen all year, up and good. So it's 7-7 here in first quarter of Division IV district action. Looks like Ethan White kind of took hold of the final parts of that drive and punched it in right behind that stout offensive line of the Saints.
Absolutely. We talked about the offensive line for the Broncos, but the Saints are very proud of their big, strong offensive line also.
Yeah, it's been at the forefront of most of the success that the offense has had. You're going to read the paper and see the Ellis to Ellis combination, and they've done a great job. But what gives Luke all that time to make those kind of playground-worthy plays is, he gets a nice pocket for the high school level. The Saints are able to establish some things, and it's tempting sometimes with those athletes to go to the air, but they're perfectly capable, as we see right there, of putting it on the ground and making it happen. One of the better kicks that we've seen out of the Saints here, probably not in the scouting report, that's going to be Swash.
There you go.
Swash tripped up right away, so a nice special teams play on the kickoff team for the Saints is, I think that was Ryder Brooks, provided a good kick, and it's going to start the Broncos back at the 20, or excuse me, at the 15. So putting the defense in a little bit better position. We remarked at the beginning of the broadcast they haven't had this opportunity very much, and they answered the bell there.
That's how it's supposed to work.
Yeah, I think that, now the Broncos are probably going to make an adjustment to have somebody deep, because unless they've seen something, that was the first time we've seen that. So they may make an adjustment, but that might make them more susceptible to that onside or squib look that we've tended to use more. Broncos in unison, snap down. Damaska makes a really nice read, and he gets around the end and gets 11.
Yeah, it certainly looked like he was going to give it to the fullback, in which case they would have gained a yard, but that was a really exceptional read on his part.
Yeah, making some reads out of that formation, full house. Kind of rode the mesh a little bit longer, didn't like what he thought Soto was going to get, so he pulled it and went around the side. Damaska kind of showing early that, even as a junior, he's pretty darn solid and he knows what he's doing back there. Saints are going to have to try to make him throw the ball in this weather.
And this is certainly, speaking of that, a predominantly junior team.
Yeah, we glanced over the roster early. Most of the names that you'll hear, these are guys that are going to be back for the Broncos. Nice job by the offensive line of the Broncos there. That's going to be the halfback number 3, Lucas Chapman. You see, he kind of just follows his blocker. That was number 22, Gabriel Baska. Really nice job for Lucas Chapman. Got plenty there.
That was a classic wing tee, follow the blocker. Don't overrun the blocker.
Chop your feet, keep them going so you're hard to tackle, and he was just that. A good spot, too, puts them at 2nd and 5. About halfway through the first quarter. Broncos on their second drive. This one's going to go to Soto. He's met right away, but he's a big guy. Saints do a great job. Little gang tackle there. Led mostly by number 55, Drew Schweihofer.
And I think that's what the Saints are going to have to do. These are big guys with big blockers. It's going to have to be a gang tackle thing.
Yeah, everybody to the ball, and I think that's what the Saints had been trying to do early on. The issue that you have is the great read that Damaska made. All those guys piled onto the fullback or first lead, and they took off, and he went the other way. And he showed that he's got some wheels. So a 3rd down and kind of a big one here. Saints need to get a stop, try to shift the momentum a bit. You'll notice the Broncos in this wing tee all kind of snap down together. It's a really classic look. Damaska reads at the line of scrimmage, maybe audibling a bit based on what the Saints are doing. Kind of go midline here, and he's stacked up. He's trying to fight for yardage. He's looks like he's getting a decent spot. If I have the official on the far side, it's going to be awfully close to a Bronco first down. A really nice second effort as he was stacked up, was Damaska.
Yeah, he was twisted around and that just tried to lean forward up, and he made it.
You're going to say it's enough for a first down, so it'll move the chains. It's hard to believe anyhow, Coach, that based on what we're seeing that 4th down wouldn't have been anything but a go-for-it situation for the Broncos anyhow. So all's not lost. You got to get the Broncos behind the sticks on first down here. So the reset gives them the opportunity to do that. Little different look. Non-full house classic wing tee for the Broncos. Man in jet motion. Gets to the outside, which is what you can't do. That's 14, Aiden Swash. Really nice job there. Kind of gets on the outside. It does its job. It's going to be 2nd down and 4.
It was a nicely designed play. He was a step or two from breaking.
Jet sweep is always one of those plays that looks like it's about to be tripped up in the backfield, but if you have a guy who can make the read and turn the corner like Swash did there, it can be effective. They're going to jet the other way. You might have a procedure here. It looked like 2 guys went in motion. It's going to be a false start. So your first flag of the evening. It's going to back the Broncos up a bit, and this is really the first time they've been behind the chains or off schedule at all.
Snap. False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat 2nd down.
Ball's back to the 38-yard line. Now, again, we mentioned that great kick by Ryder Brooks. This feels kind of nice that you've given up a first down and they're still on their side of the 50, and that's not typically the case. The Saints have been kind of back against the wall. Any first down's a bad thing, and they're able to kind of recover, make some adjustments here, and stay on the right side of it. Big 2nd down play here defensively. Damaska with Soto in the backfield. It's going to be to Soto. He's off right guard. That's not going anywhere. About a 1.
Great stop.
Number 54, Maddox Moselle. 2-way player, obviously offensive and defensive line. He makes the stop. Now we're at a 3rd and 8 situation. Typically, I'd say maybe passing down, but if you're the Broncos, you may be playing 4 downs here anyway behind that stout running game. I would think you got to spy Damaska on something like this. He just seems like the guy who wants to go and make a play.
Yeah, he's listed on the roster as a quarterback athlete, and they're not kidding.
No doubt about it. He's going to keep it around the edge. We got somebody out there with him. Can they make the play? They can.
Awesome.
And now it's going to be a timing issue. A big play for the Saints, and they're loving it. A little momentum. Might have been Brendan Cole out there, one of the Saints' best athletes, chasing him down and making a play. And now it's looking less like 4-down territory.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
You may take with a stronger kicking game. We saw the leg of the kicker. If he is the punter, you got to imagine he might be able to boot it a bit. And it looks like that's going to be the case. So a big stop off of that penalty for the Saints. They're going to get the ball back. And Brendan Cole and Logan Ellis split deep for the Saints. Left-footed kicker gets it off. It's going to be to Ellis at about the 30. Drops it in the rain, but slips a tackle. He's kind of working around to the near side. He's got a little bit of a lane here. Logan Ellis, plenty athletic, trying to get the corner. An excellent return off of a muffed punt across the 50 to the 46, and that's where the Saints are going to set up shop for their second drive of the day.
That defensive series was excellent, and the idea sometimes is if you're coming down to cover the punt and you see him drop it, there's a hesitation, and he picked that right back up and came to the outside. It worked very well for the Saints.
Logan's got good instincts with the ball in his hand. We've talked about his ability to improvise, and right there, not planning on dropping the football, of course, does it, slips a tackle, makes a big play, slips a couple more in the process. Empty set, Ethan White in motion. He'll take it off the right side. He looks like he's got room, and an excellent block out in front. 56, Jack Dolan absolutely punished the man out in front there. It's been a few times, Coach. Here you're going to see Dolan's block. Number 10, that is the quarterback, and he took the opportunity right there with that two-way player, Will Damaska, to let him go. Dolan's opportunity there was like, you're big, but for a quarterback, so come here.
Yes, yeah. He says, and I'm an athlete too.
Got around there plenty quick. Coach, something I'm noticing with the running game, though, out on the edges, the Saints are getting guys out in front, and there's some room there. Ellis audibles at the line. He's going to sneak this. I think he liked the look, especially behind those offensive linemen. The Saints may have found something in a matchup on that side that they like. Looks like we have an injured Bronco. That's number 8, Gabriel Miles. Not ideal. Kind of stacked up in a pile there for the Saints. Or excuse me, with the Saints as they plowed ahead. And Coach, really, you kind of like the energy that the home team has right now. It feels like there's a lot of confidence. You saw that stop that they got. They were flying to the football, and then they were eager to come out here this drive and kind of impose their will right away.
Well, I think if you watch this game from the beginning, the way that the Broncos moved down the field was like, uh-oh. And ever since the Broncos kicked off, it's been the Saints' momentum.
Yeah, they did a really good job bouncing back. I mean, that takes some, perseverance. You got to have some confidence. You got to have had won some football games throughout the year to know that you can take that punch, come back, and start doing some things in your favor. And right now, I just kind of like the vibe of the drives that they're having, and hopefully this stall in the action with the injury doesn't stymie the effort. It's going to be a first down for the Saints. Kind of cruising right now behind the big offensive line. Kai Pennywell, Maddox Moselle, Case Peterson, Jack Dolan especially on that lead block in the last play. Empty set for Ellis. White in motion again. They're going to fake to him and follow him. Up the middle is Ellis. He's got some room. Ryder Brooks couldn't get attached to 26. Ellis trying to take it himself does inside the 10. Ryder Brooks was there, but Ellis outran his own blocker. Nonetheless, another big chunk play, and the Saints are getting anything they want here in their second drive.
Well, and this is a good time to remember that when Luke Ellis was on the varsity as a sophomore, he was a fullback. He ran the ball.
And really, that's kind of a good comparison. You got Damaska on the other side. I think Ellis is plenty capable of playing football that way. He just may have the ability to throw it a little bit better than Damaska likes to. And he may have the weapons on the perimeter to do it a bit more. 1st and 7. If it's me, the passing game's off the table at this time. It doesn't seem like it's necessary. In motion is Pennywell. Ellis again. He's going to find some room. The Saints' offensive line is just absolutely dominating on the perimeter.
Yes, they are. Absolutely are.
And you're going to have to forgive us at home, folks, as you watch this. There's a lot of rain falling, and the camera's a little bit fuzzy, so we might not be able to credit everybody for what they're doing here, but every time we see this on the monitor, the seas are parting, and all we can see is blue jerseys engulfing white jerseys. It makes it easy as a running back when you know that none of the guys in front of you can tackle you.
Well, and it certainly negates the Broncos' at least theoretical advantage with their huge line, because ours is, at this point in time, better.
Out in front of this formation is Drew Schweihofer in the backfield for the Saints with Ethan White. It's going to be to White. White, tough run again. I think he's got it. And he does. The hands go up. Yep. And a big answer and a stop by the Saints after a great kick from Ryder Brooks. Kind of flipped the field, and the Saints went ahead behind that big offensive line. And Ethan White, again, pounds it in for the Saints. And they're looking to tack one on behind the foot of Claire Freeland, who has been just fantastic. Oh, it looks like we've switched it up. That's Maya back in the fold. Apologies. It's so great to see Maya back in the fold to kick. She's been injured and back.
Claire is down here in the boot.
So they've swapped.
They've swapped.
All right, so the best of luck to getting Claire back in the fold. It's been Maya in the boot all year, and now we've swapped for older sister who can do the kicking duties while Claire watches in the boot, and tonight just getting wet and supporting here. But Maya with another great kick, so no matter what Freeland young lady we put at the kicker position, we're just going to kick perfect extra points all year.
This is not a surprise, but the Freelands can kick.
No doubt about it. We're thankful that they're on the team because it's such an important piece to the game. Coach, if it's seems important that the Saints can continue to kick the ball well. Ryder Brooks is going to give it another shot.
Middle of the field.
Keep it so that it's in play and let your guys do their job. Guys in lanes here. Ooh, slip tackle. Looks like Henny shuffling his feet. Caught from behind. Still not a bad deal. Saints coverage team probably deserved a bit better there. And that is going to end the quarter. So we're going to take a timeout, and we'll be right back on CTV.
I'm Dr. Lee Batcheldor, Chief Medical Officer for Ascension River District Hospital. I'm speaking to you on behalf of the hundreds of outstanding physicians, associates, and volunteers who provide personalized, compassionate, high-quality health care at our beautiful hospital on South River Road. We've been proudly serving this community for more than 50 years. Even more important, we plan to continue serving this community for a long time to come. Always remember that we are here when you need us, 24 hours a day, right here, right now, today, and in the future.
Well, they've got drink specials every day. Rooms upstairs if you want to stay. If you love music, hear it play at the good old Murphy Inn. At the good old Murphy Inn.
Looking for a great spot to enjoy lunch or dinner with fantastic daily food and happy hour specials? Look no further than the Murphy Inn in St. Clair. This is Paul, owner of the Murphy Inn. Our charming Irish pub features different food and drink specials every day of the week, plus live entertainment every Wednesday through Saturday. The inn even offers 7 unique hotel rooms complete with modern amenities, perfect for overnight stays or a weekend getaway.
There ain't no doubt we're going out to the good old Murphy Inn. To the good old Murphy Inn.
All right, back here on CTV as we start the second quarter. You caught the tail end of the first play of the second quarter as another jet sweep. Looked like it was number 2, Gabriel Baska, around the right edge. Got some room after a good block, and it'll be second down and 3. As the Broncos here are going to try and answer after just a really nice finish to the first quarter for the Saints, Coach.
Very nicely done. They did. There was nothing you would change except I think they were probably motivated by the first touchdown by the Broncos.
I was going to say, I don't know if you take that back. It seems like it kind of woke them up, and it may be better for it. Right there, it looks like Henny goes off left tackle. He's going to be just short based on this spot, and it's going to be third down. So an opportunity for the Saints if they can get a play in the backfield here. All of that offensive momentum, kind of started with the big play as Ellis goes over the top to answer to Brendan Cole, and then behind the legs of Ethan White and Luke Ellis, they pound the ball in. White with 2 touchdowns in that quarter to answer that Broncos' first touchdown by Will Damaska. The Broncos proving to be a formidable foe, but the Saints with a good answer, and we've got a good football game here at East China Stadium. Third and short, Damaska with it. He gives. Good cutback there. Joe, it's going to be close. It looks like he's just short of the line of game. They're not going to give that to him, I don't believe. we have really different spots based on the two officials were not in sync there, but the one on the near side's got it just short. I believe that's 4th down, and they do put the hand up. So decision-making time if you're the Broncos, but if it's me making the decision, I think we're going to give the ball to number 10 and let them go forward for a foot. An opportunity, though, you get the big guys up front. Kind of try to stack it up if you're the Saints. I see number 77 there. That's Trevor Gregg. He's going to play a role in that. Maddox Moselle as well, up front with Drew Schweihofer. Everybody's going to be tight. You see the big offensive line of the Broncos. They snap down to center on 4th and 1. Big play. Man in motion. They're trying to draw the Saints and call a timeout. Good discipline from the Saints front there, as you're always tempted to try to beat somebody off the ball. So Jeremy Furman, the head coach, uses his first timeout of the quarter. At this juncture, I mean, I can understand that it's a difficult decision, but I think especially in this current way of looking at football, you rarely at any level see coaches pass this up to punt the ball. You're going to go for it.
No, it's a foot, perhaps a little more, but their linemen are huge. You just rely on them and say it's up to you to move that line backwards.
Yeah, the advantage here is, the Saints defense is plenty big, but the Broncos offensive line knows when they're snapping the ball, and that advantage should be enough to get you a foot and a half, especially behind, Damaska, the quarterback, is plenty big. But, yeah, no doubt about it. Still an opportunity here. I see that front geared up to make a play. It's probably going to be relatively simple. Miles Markle, Maddox Moselle, Trevor Gregg. Stick your nose in and make sure you create a pile. It's actually going to be 62, William Schroeder coming in. Try to jam that up. Unlikely to see something on the perimeter. You got to play it that way. Saints stack the box. Damaska under center. He's going to sneak it.
Yeah.
It's close. It's going to depend on the spot, but I believe he's got it. And the near side official did mark him he needed a foot, and he got 2.
Yep, there it is.
They are going to give him the first down. Nice effort there by the Saints. They were kind of stacked against the odds there, but pretty well done. And just as we suspected, Jeremy Foreman and the Broncos go for it, and they use Will Damaska to do it. So it'll be 9:35 here in the second quarter. 1st and 10. Broncos. Play clock running. Plenty of time on it with 30 seconds to go after they reset it so the chains could move. Saints are going to bring Brendan Cole to the other side of the field. Chris Piperzak on your side playing corner. Double tight, all clinched in, full house here for the Broncos. Snap goes. It's going to be a counter. Slips past the first tackler, but the Saints, they've got friends. And a really nice job inside the box. That's number 32, Owen Gazar, linebacker. Great job. Right there, that's kind of the recipe, Coach, I think, for the Saints. They just have to gang tackle and make sure everybody flies to the ball.
I agree with that. And we have talked before about that. Your job is to do your job.
That's right. Don't try to do too much and be in a place that you don't need to be. So assignment football, and that time Owen Gazar was the one who needed to make the play, and he did. The North Branch obviously are not concerned with spreading it out and creating space. They want this to be ugly. They do have a couple of splits here. Damaska's going to keep this one, and they're going to pitch it. They got a little option play. Pretty nice play design there. Got to like that. Lucas Chapman on the pitch. He's going to be just short of a first down across the 45, though, into the 42 and a half yard line. It's going to be a 3rd down for North Branch. I like that play call from the Broncos. A little bit of a wrinkle that we haven't seen thus far is the option pitch. Good read again by Damaska.
Yep, and if you spy him, then he's got an outlet now.
Chapman's proven to be kind of a serviceable back. Broncos kind of slowing the tempo down a little bit. Don't blame Coach Jeremy Furman on that.
No, this is their kind of game. They don't want to get in a shootout.
Sweep now. Saints there. Can they hold him in? Just looks like he's going to be able to cut it back. Really nice job by the back that time. It looks like that was Henny. He got right where Kai Pennywell was ready to stop him and just shifted those hips and got upfield. It's going to be 4th down, and we've seen this movie before. It's going to be 4th and short for the Broncos.
I think this is less than the last one.
Yeah, this is pretty tight. The sticks are pretty close together. Damaska bringing a couple friends to the huddle with him. That's Mason Howe, a big guy. He's going to be the tight end on this side. In the backfield is Soto, Chapman, and Henny. Looks like we may have a timeout, and that's going to be North Branch using the timeout again. So now the tempo coach has changed a little bit from the Saints flying around and doing things, and I think probably wisely North Branch has realized that they didn't need to press just yet.
Yep.
And they've slowed their guys down and reminded them who they are. And they're putting a little bit of a drive together. Regardless of whether it takes 4 downs to get your first down, they're staying on schedule.
Well, and from a defensive standpoint, when it's 4th and in a foot or foot and a half, you're a little bit hesitant because you know you don't want to jump and just give it to them. So the offense has the advantage in that situation.
Yeah, they're the ones that know the count and can get off the ball. Now, the risk that you take, especially in high school football, is if you're going to hard count the opponent, your guys jump.
Yes.
I mean, percentage-wise, it's kind of a 50-50 proposition for a lot of football teams. Both teams tonight, there's only been 1 penalty flag, so both teams seem pretty disciplined, which is really, for the Saints, that's an improvement. We've seen more procedure out of them previously. 14-7 Saints, another big 4th down here in the drive for the Broncos. And they're going to give it, and it's going to be enough for a first down. It's going to be just behind the 40-yard line. And it's been slow movement, but the Broncos are making progress toward the end zone.
Well, I think just like you said, they were caught up in the excitement in the beginning, and now it's like, wait a minute, that's not us. This is who we are.
Yeah, back to identity. Probably a really nice job of poise by both the coaching staff, and we mentioned there's not a lot of seniors on this football team for the Broncos, so it may have taken that timeout and a reminder, like, we don't go fast.
Ooh, there's a, yeah.
We've got some hankies, so I jinxed it about the procedure. And that's going to be the second one on the Broncos, and they're going to move back. And now the last time the Saints got a stop, it was aided by a procedure penalty on 2nd down. If you were just joining us, the drive that the Saints had a really nice finish and forced a punt. Broncos had about
with the penalty, it'll bring up 1st
and that the false start moved it back. Saints made 2 good plays behind the sticks and forced that punt. So 6 minutes to go. And it's 1st and 15 at the 45, so need to take advantage. Damaska, they're going to throw. Haven't seen it a lot, but here he goes. Looked like a left-handed flip. Pretty good coverage there, but a good catch. Number 22, Gabriel Baska. Got to give full credit. That thing kind of floated up there. Damaska apparently a left-handed thrower, which I hadn't realized. And a nice catch, so they get quite a bit of that back and get it to 2nd and 5.
Roll to the right for a left-hander is a little difficult to do, and that was a floater. There was no dart about that one.
There was somebody there. It looked like the Saints. It may have been, I don't know if that was Ethan White or Landshut over on that side that got their arm in, and I thought maybe we were going to be able to break it up, but Baska holds on. 35-yard line for the Broncos. Damaska under center again. He's going to give this time to Aiden Swash. And the Saints kind of gang tackle him. Got to be smart here. They stack up Swash in the backfield. Here we're going to see it kind of breaks down, and then Maddox Moselle, aided by a couple of friends here, are going to make that play. And it's 3rd and 4.
The Maddox and Friends show.
Just an excellent job up front. Going to say a lot of those names kind of on both sides of the football, Maddox included. Now Hunter Richardson comes in the game, who you'll see scrimmage from both sides. 10 seconds left on the play clock, rather. Broncos snap together, move across. It's going to be Wright's tackle. He moves up a little bit there, does Aiden Swash. Looked like a similar play. And it's going to be close again. It's going to be fourth.
Guess what we're going to have?
Fourth down and a foot and a half. Well, the Broncos know they have a play that'll execute this. Just an excellent job there by the Broncos. They stick into their plan. Saints defense is holding up okay. They need to make one more play in the backfield. That pass proving pretty costly as it recovered all those penalty yards for Coach Furman. Here comes North Branch. The Saints are going to call their first time out of the half, as they need to talk something over. Probably on the flip side of that, they're going to try to come up with something as they grind out these fourth down conversions. It sure would be nice in a momentum way to get a stop, and you just want to create something, maybe shoot somebody through a gap early. You can play a little bit of a guessing game here, I think, with a blitz and just see if you can time one up. But, Coach, the way that the Broncos align themselves, it's so tight back there that there's not really a lot to get through.
There's not a lot to shoot. There's not many gaps to shoot.
The only way I could see, again, you could stack them up and try to just get a big crowd. You do leave yourself very susceptible to they're going to fake that give to Soto and just pitch it out to Chapman or something, and you give up a big play when you don't have to. But you are leading 14-7. You got to feel pretty good about what your offense is able to do. So 3:31 left in the quarter. If you've got your eyes on getting the football back and wanting to score, might be worth a gamble here and there.
Yeah, you may want to take a look at the center, too, because he's a sophomore.
Right at him. 31-yard line. Man in motion. They're going to hold this with the mask.
Right
That's
there.
an interesting play. You got to hold on.
There
And
you
they
go.
do, and the Saints
There
are going to
you
get
go.
a massive stop.
Yep.
And this is the opportunity that we get, Coach, to go straight to praising head coaches. James Bishop calls a timeout. I love the idea, at least in my mind, that forced Jeremy Furman to change what he wanted to do, and the Saints were prepared for the other option anyhow. A really nice job and a massive play in this first half with 3:26 to go, and now the Saints have a legitimate opportunity to go up 2 scores headed into half.
I'd be willing to bet that that's exactly what happened, that they had their former play, and St. Clair called a timeout, and they said, uh-oh.
And they switched it,
Yep.
and they switched it to something that the Saints were able to convert on. So an excellent job by Coach Bishop and the Saints, and they're going to have an opportunity here. Ethan White in motion, Luke Ellis, and they're going to go to the air here, looking for a dagger.
He's
There's
alone.
nobody there. An absolutely excellent play, and the Saints have all the momentum. Ellis to Ellis immediately after. Saints for 6, no flags.
Somebody missed it there, right there.
Yeah, it was
Yep.
99 came up. Landon Swash paid more attention to the up man. Might have been Cole or Brooks flashing across the middle, and they left Logan Ellis to run by himself. And if you've got a scouting report on the Saints football team, Logan Ellis is probably on the top of it. So that's not going to be a good conversation for Jeremy Furman, but an excellent ball. That's 2 fantastic coaching plays by the Saints. And here comes Maya Freeland, and her kick is up and good again. Now the only problem I have with the entire thing is it didn't take enough time off the clock.
It did not. Yeah, it took just seconds. You're absolutely right.
I'm being picky, but just in terms of momentum, just an absolutely huge play, and coming off the timeout that Coach Bishop called and the stop by the defense, and then Coach Griffin going for it. Right there with the ball over the top, well-designed play, and Ryder Brooks going to come on and hopefully pin the Broncos back so that their grinded-out style offense doesn't have enough time to work its way down the field.
Takes its clock down, yep. This is a great time to put one in about the 15-yard line, right in the middle of the field between the 2 kickoff returners.
Let your coverage team do their job. Trust that it can be done. You got these wet conditions, so if it does bounce around a little bit, it may take a couple extra seconds and give your guys time to get there. Really nice job there for the Saints. So an impressive answer to that opening drive by North Branch, and all the momentum squarely in the hands of the Saints.
They're good.
And that's going to be
11.
Swash again.
Nope.
And the Saints coverage team does just what they needed to do, and they're going to start the Broncos drive inside of their own 15. So 99, Landon Swash couldn't find anywhere to go. And with 3 minutes and 10 seconds left in the half, Coach, you know, the big play ability, that's something that the Saints have proven that they have. And outside of that one big run by Will Damaska, the Broncos are going to have their work cut out for them if they want to go 85 yards in 3 minutes.
Well, and we have talked about
timeout.
the difference in offensive philosophies. That one is a grind it out, and when you get too far behind, that poses some problems.
And this is exactly where the Saints wanted to be, get out in front and make the Broncos chase them. And behind a few big plays and a couple nice drives, they're in the driver's seat. These are the times
the play clock is down to 9.
See if Damaska can realize that as he comes out. These are the times as a defensive back, it's a lot of fun because you're hoping that they're going to throw it up and you go get one. It's going to be Soto, I believe. It's going to go off the right side and not get a whole bunch.
Well, like you had said, that's okay. Grind it out, let the clock run. They only have one timeout left, so.
Caden Meredith on the tackle there for the Saints. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. This is about discipline too. Mm-hmm. If you're St. Clair, you don't want to try and do too much, get out of position and allow there to be a seam for them to bust a big one on you. You just keep them in front of you. Even if they get a couple of first downs, that doesn't hurt. Full house again with double tight. He's going to try to throw it. He's got a man. And he kind of made the wrong call there,
he
Coach.
Did.
I said he's got a man. I had 44 at the bottom and thought it was obvious. He tried to go deeper than that to Mason Howe, and there was 2 Saints back there.
I thought he was alone over here, that he kind of skipped out of the backfield.
If you've got coaches up here on the headset, though, that's something that's going to be noted because the Saints, it ended up working out just great, but the coverage was a little bit blown as 2 guys went with 1 receiver. Luckily for us, Damaska made that throw. And just kind of as the scouting report indicated, that's not the way that they like to make their headway on offense. Now it's 3rd and 7, 2:26. The Saints have 2 timeouts, and they just stopped the clock. It'll be interesting to see if the Saints are able to get it to a 3rd and 3 here, or a 4th and 3, excuse me, if they use a timeout. He's going to throw again. Kai Pennywell all in his face. Ooh, and that is going to be a completed pass right to Aiden Swash and right in front of number
Logan
36. Wall. That's Logan Wall, yep. So that probably changes the idea that the Saints are going to go ahead and try to call any timeouts now. You'd probably be just as happy to get this stop and get to the half. Swash again out on the perimeter. Nice job of blocking by the Broncos. He's got some room. He's going to out to the 46-yard line, pardon me, and the clock's going to stop as Swash goes out of bounds. Those plays are interesting because it looks like there's plenty of blue jerseys in the right area to begin with, and either I'm not crediting Swash with how fast he is out on the perimeter, or there's some eyes in the wrong spot for the perimeter defenders.
Yeah, it's almost like the contain man came up too far and kind of took himself out of the play.
Yeah, he's working his way in, and Swash kind of bananas around it and finds some room. Damaska goes interior. Nice job. That's Soto. That's good for the Saints as the clock winds. Coach Jeremy Furman's going to have to be very selective about when he wants to use that final timeout. My guess is it's got to be inside of the 20-yard line before you want to use that. 2nd and 7, I believe. 2nd and 8, actually, it looks like more. So not much there. And really the tempo slowed down here for the Broncos. They give again. The ball's on the ground.
Ball.
The Saints have it.
Saints ball.
So a big play with 1:14, and the Saints are presented with another opportunity. And in these conditions, right now, both combined with execution, solid play, and now a pretty big break, the Saints have, a chance to do irreparable damage in terms of momentum. Now you've got the 2 timeouts, Coach, and obviously the clock stops on the change of possession. I think here is trying to get your guys to be poised enough to understand that they don't have to go get it right now. You don't have to throw a bomb right now. The offensive line has done a plenty good job today of moving the football. Interesting to see how the Saints handle it.
And you have not only 1, but you have 2 timeouts.
Little mesh play. It's going to be to White. He can get out of bounds.
What a nice read.
Oh, and there's a flag on the Saints. And that's unfortunate. To the drive staller there, I believe I saw a flag come out. That's going to be a hold, I think, on the Saints.
Yep.
Officials are going to march that one off. That's unfortunate.
Holding.
Really nice
Number
play,
26
but again,
on the offense.
10-yard
penalty for the spot of the foul.
Of course, the holding is
First
an
down.
issue, but again, another nice big chunk run. So you don't have to be afraid of running the football here. The bigger penalty there almost seems like the time that ran off the clock.
And that was a great read by Luke Ellis.
Yes, he held that mesh for a really long time and made defenders commit. So it's going to be 1st down and 19. They scrimmage again from the 46. Rides the mesh a little bit. He's got a man again. Did he overthrow him? He didn't. It is money. And right now, I got to tell you, there is not a soul on the Broncos football team, including number 3, Lucas Chapman, who's going to run with Logan Ellis. That's not happening. And the Saints are in control. And you see the driving rain, behind the tent there on the surface, behind the end zone. And I'm telling you, it's a legitimate rain. And right now, you wouldn't know it by watching Luke Ellis throw the football.
It's almost like they've done this in the backyard before.
Just another outstanding throw. And only 14 seconds come off the clock on that drive. Time of possession may not be in their favor, but the Saints don't care a bit about it. Because since that first score for the Broncos, it's been all Saints. It is 28-7.
Well, and this is a dramatic change simply because the Broncos offense is not designed to come back from this.
No, and they did what they couldn't do in that drive, and they weren't doing anything aggressive really at that point. They handed the ball off middle. I think they were content to go to the half 21-7,
I think so,
and they fumbled the football, and the Saints take huge advantage of the opportunity. Now, 1 minute to go. Maybe a tall order, but Ryder Brooks doing an excellent job today. Kicking the football. Need to get that coverage team down and pin them inside that 25-yard range, 25-yard line range, Make the Broncos try and march something off, and I wouldn't be surprised if they don't get a big play here right away. They may just have to call it a half, take it in, and regroup. Remember, as we mentioned on the outset, the Saints deferred the opening kickoff, so not only are they in a position to get a stop, they're going to get the football back coming out of half.
And this is, again, we're still at the just do your job. You don't have to kick it out of the end zone. Make him run the ball back.
Trust your guys to go out there. With all this momentum, there's going to be guys flying around that want to have some fun and make a hit. Go let them play. Ryder Brooks going to do just that. Another good kick, tough to handle. They're going to try to feign a reverse here, and they don't. They just give it to Swash. He's going to keep it and go nowhere. And it's going to be about the 21-yard line with 54 seconds left to go. Right where the Saints want them. All the momentum in their corner. And you can see kind of the body language right now. The Broncos have been shell-shocked here in the last 8 minutes or so.
Well, and if you're the defensive coordinator for North Branch, what do you tell your defensive backs? Because they just can't stay with Logan Ellis.
There could be a couple of scheme things to help out, but the problem to go alongside of that is the running game for St. Clair's been plenty good too. Mm-hmm. So right now it's just pick your poison. If you want to try and umbrella out and keep Logan Ellis or Brendan Cole in front of you, well, that's fine, but then Ethan White and Luke are just going to run up the middle right now.
So we'll just take the 15-yard gain.
And that's what they're chunking off. This is going to be Damaska. He's going to give to the first back through, slips a couple of tackles. That's Chapman again off the right side, stays in bounds, clock runs. 43 seconds to go. Going to be 2nd and 6, 2nd and 7, or excuse me, 2nd and 3 or 4. But really, you see there, nothing really changes offensively for the Broncos because This is what they're built on. And right now is not the time to take a chance and make your life worse.
Oh, no.
You got to get to the half. I'm actually surprised they're running from scrimmage. That one's not going anywhere. You know, based on the fact that they fumbled last time, I'm probably taking a knee.
Yeah, just let this run.
And find a solution at the half. That is going to do it. As there's 6 seconds left, the Broncos are not going to need to run another play with 30 seconds on that play clock. So for those of you at home who have had the pleasure of watching that half from Saints football, just excellent. We are excited to come back to playoff Division IV football on CTV. Second half coming up.
La Moche is open in the south end of St. Clair's Riverview Plaza. La Moche, an artisan's experience, soon filled with over 40 unique artisans under one roof. Individual spaces with their own vibe, handmaids, pottery, French candies and jellies, Halloween, Christmas, candles, pottery. Walk through the halls of La Moche and see the individual booths that everyone's talking about. La Moche, an artisan's experience in the south end of the Riverview Plaza. Ace Hardware in St. Clair is your local Ace Hardware store, and it's located on the west side of the Riverview Plaza in St. Clair. Ace Hardware in St. Clair now features Carhartt clothing, coats, pants, everything Carhartt. And look now, they also have the Big Green Egg, Weber grills, and of course, all the quality Ace products you've grown to know and trust. Paint, tools, keys, everything hardware. It's all at Ace Hardware on the west side of the Riverview Plaza in St. Clair.